Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I'm working on a full 6x12 single page layout here. This, on the other side of this, is my opening page for my Vegas album. So this side is, it's not really an itinerary, but I want to be able to include journaling and tell the story of the fact that we planned this with very little time. It came as a surprise. I got a flight alert for a super cheap flight. And so I quickly, talked with a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, do you want to go? And we planned it in a matter of weeks, which is so unlike me. Normally I plan trips much, much further ahead, but I couldn't pass it up. So that's just what happened. So I want to be able to tell that story and then include this fun, super fun acrylic piece here that I have. This is from Bramble Fox. If you've never heard of them, they are an acrylic company. I think they also do some stamps now as well, and then they do stencils and they might even do dies, but they started out just doing this. But cool stuff, and their travel things are some of my favorites. So if you like the look of this, that's where you can find it. As you can see, I also have some other pieces here. I have this acetate airplane piece here that also has the topographic look to it there. I want to use that if I can. And then I also have this little piece that says to warmer places, because it was the end of November into early December when we went. I live in Minnesota. It was very cold here, not super snowy yet, but very cold. And we couldn't wait to get to a warmer climate. All right, so now you've seen the pieces I want to use. I would like to also use the back of this so I can avoid using a whole nother piece of paper on top of this. This album is going to be big enough as it is. I want to cut down on the weight of it and the size wherever I can. So my hope is that I can just find some paper to cover up this section here, because I did some testing on the back for some things that I did over here, not realizing, hey, I might want to use the other side of that. So my fault there, but I'm sure I can find something to cover that up. I also put a staple in the other side. I need to cover that as well. If I left that as is, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but if I can cover this, hopefully I can cover that too. I have pulled out the papers that I had gathered for this album. This is a set from Close to My Heart. As you can see, I've already used some of it on a different layout, actually several layouts that have already happened. And so this is what I have left. And there is some yellow in here. So I could potentially use some of this, which I love, because it's got the flamingos and the palm trees and the lovely flowers. So I might be able to do something like this and just cut a piece. The question is then, how do I make this work without it being overwhelmed by the paper? So I'm guessing I would either have to do something like this. Well, could I cover that staple? Would it look weird to overlap that? It might. Not sure about that. I wanted this more towards the bottom if I could get it, because I have one on the top on the other side, and I was trying to balance out that bulk. But you know what? We'll just see what happens. If I end up having to put it up top, then so be it. So I have those already. I also have this package of stuff, and a lot of this is holiday themed because I was there during the holidays, but not all. I mean, I might be able to work in some of this other stuff that I have that's just Vegas-y, like the ones with all the stars and things. And this certainly, if I could get it out of here, would work with the white because it's a darker color. These two don't look bad together. It just isn't quite the color scheme I was thinking, but I could make it work. I have this one as well. Ooh, I don't like that at all. Well, there, that made that easy, not that one. But I have some other options here. I also have this gold. And then, I don't even remember what I have in these full 12x12s. That's obviously for the holiday decorations. Oh, I forgot that I also have full flamingo paper here. Not sure I'd want to use that. Those do not look good together. This blends in way too much. What's on the other side? Nope, not that. So I probably won't use this one. We'll see. It'll probably either be this or this. I think I have decided to go with this one. I cut down the paper to a 6 by 12 so that then I could further cut it down. So this is just a 4 by 6, and then I still have a 6 by 8 piece that I could use for something else, which I love. So I'm going to hang on to that. I did think about this one again, but I have something else later that I might be able to use this for. So I kind of want to hoard it and just kind of put it in reserve in case I decide to use it. So I'm just going to hang on to that one. So I think I'm going to do something like this down here. If I position it right as I have it here, you will barely see that staple. It'll be pretty incognito by doing this. I like that idea. Then I can still use the fun paper and have it in there. It'll overlap a little bit, but not too bad. I could also put in a solid strip of washi there. I have some very thin washies just to kind of give it more definition, so I would certainly consider that. That still leaves me a good amount of space here where I can put in a white insert of some kind and journal, because I doubt I would journal right on this. And I could hopefully still work this in there somewhere too, even if I'm only using like part of it hanging off or something like that. All right, I'm somebody who likes to reuse packaging if I can in any way, just so I'm not busting into new stuff for no reason and I'm upcycling something rather than just throwing it out. So I found this and I'm like, okay, that's perfect. I need a white insert there. Great. It actually came from Studio Calico Packaging. It's just a nice cardstock. I could certainly journal on that, and this doesn't need to be known that that's there, because I'm thinking I will just tuck this underneath, or I can cut it off to meet the line of this paper. And I can take the little airplane and I can either do it like this or like this. I don't care if a little bit of it is missing. That still gives me plenty of journaling room, and I can go around the plane, which I think might be fun. Do something a little bit unique. So I think this is my plan. I have two different washes I'm considering here. I have them sitting there so I can see what I think. This one is slightly more narrow. This still isn't bad, but certainly wider than this one. And this has the bling. So if I want that, real blingy, shiny Vegas theme idea, I could certainly go with that one. But I'm also digging the look of this stripe because of this. I think that might look nice with all of this. Yes, it's pattern on pattern, but I don't think it's crazy pattern, so I think I might be able to get away with it. So I just have to decide which of these do I like better, and then I can start actually adhering all of this stuff. Between the two of these, I decided to go with the stripe. I just like it better for this one. And I do have some photos later with showgirls on the street. They're actually wearing this color. So that might be perfect to use then, because it's obviously very showy, glitzy, glamoury. So I think I'm going to save it and use it then instead. Okay, so I have both of these adhered. I did leave a little bit open right up here so I can tuck in that journaling. Unless I decide to go flush with this. Just wanted to have the option. So I left that part with a little bit of give. I have my washi down, and now I can take out my liquid glue and put on this lovely embellishment here. And I'm looking around, where is my glue? I normally keep it right on my desk. Why is it when you're in the middle of something, you go looking for one of your tools of some type that you need, it's never there? Apparently I had forgotten that I let one of my kids use this for something else. So I did find it, thank goodness, because I needed it here. So I have put the liquid glue on here, so I'm just letting it dry. And I did do the edges of the palm right here over the staple, so you can see them, but it's minuscule. When somebody is flipping through the album, they'd have to look pretty hard to see that, I think. So I am proud of my cover-up job there. I have adhered the white piece, so now that's down. So obviously when I journal, I need to be very careful because I don't want to screw it up and have to pry that up. But what I'll probably do is write very lightly in pencil and then go over it with pen just to make sure I don't make mistakes. This is how I think I want to layer these. I don't mind clipping off a little bit of the wing there. I like it at a tilt, so I can do that, and then I can have this layered over it. I will have black ink for my journaling, so those will match, but I'm thinking maybe I want to put something down here, either stamp in black, find some other phrase or something that has black just to bring that all together. But for now, I'm going to attach these so that that part is done. I did end up having to pry this piece up a little bit because I needed to put a staple in there and I don't want it to go through the other side, so it can only go through the white. But it didn't rip anything. It came up quite easily actually. Now everything's adhered and it's good to go. So all I need to do is just clip off this extra little piece. And then that part is done. Get up as close as I can to the edge. There we go. There, perfect. So now I just need to figure out what else is going down here. I pulled out my 2 sets of Vegas stamps thinking maybe there'd be something on there I could use, but I don't want it to say Vegas twice because it already says it right here. So I didn't feel like any of these would really be appropriate. And then a lot of these other ones are kind of specific in what they say. So that doesn't really work either. So I'm not going to use either of those, and that's fine. But then I pulled out some small letter stickers that I have. I tend to keep them all in this pouch, and it's so that when I need a little phrase like that, I can go in there and find it. And these were in there. These are from an Allie Edwards travel release. I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2021, but I've had them a while. You can see I've used quite a few, but I think for this one, I'm going to use the one that says "Long Live the Adventure." And I think if I just put it down here, since this is upper right, if I go lower left, those will balance each other out nicely. For the most part, I think this is done. However, I do want to do a little bit of splattering, I think. And I have picked out both of these. I have Color Shine in pink. It's actually called Blush from Heidi Swapp, or I have my Mica Mist from Nuvo. And I'm more familiar with this color because I've used it recently, so I know probably how that would look. It's more like this, kind of, well, actually more in between these two greens. This I remember being very soft, so it'd be more like the pink in the flamingo maybe. So I think I'm going to do a test on just a scratch piece of both of these and just see how I feel about it. When I did my test, I've decided to go with the pink. I just think it looked better. It was much lighter. The green, I think, would have been maybe a little too distracting. So I think light pink is the way to go. And I don't want a ton, just little bits here and there. Maybe some down here. I don't even know that it would show up on this, so I don't know that I need that necessarily. And you know what? Maybe one more up here, kind of around the corner. Might be enough. Just a little bit there, there, there. All right. I think that's enough for this. As this was drying, I thought that the pink was getting really, really light. So I decided to add some gold as well, and I really like that. I even ended up getting some on the acrylic piece. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work. It might just wipe off because this is so slick. But for now, I'm going to leave it there and hope that it dries on there because I really like the way it looks and I'd like to keep it. But you can see I also have some down here and here, and I think that's just enough. So as far as I'm concerned, this one's done. So here's another one finished for Vegas. Thanks for watching.